Hello everybody and welcome to the Human Echoes rundown for Ghost in the Shell, starring Scarlett Johansson. And I have to start this right off the bat by clarifying that I am not, in fact, a fan of the original anime. I don't have any particular problem with it. I saw Ghost in the Shell standalone complex like 15 years ago now, and it was okay when I saw it, and I don't remember much about it. So that's where I'm coming from on that. Also, as a clarification, this is a movie that's surrounded by a controversy about whitewashing, which I do not particularly care about. I don't dismiss the people who do care about it, but it is not an issue that is very important to me. So, just coming at this again, with no particular reverence for the anime, with no animus against the movie based on its politics, this is what I think about Ghost in the Shell. It's okay. This is a movie, to start off with the really good stuff, and it's really good stuff. This is a movie that has excellent visual style, and this is something that I do somewhat remember from the anime, and I think that they did a great job of realizing this technologically advanced future, not necessarily a realistic technologically advanced future, but a movie version of the technologically advanced future. The tech that is on display here in this world that is built to be around everybody now in this world has these enhancements, right? It's about humanity becoming more and more mechanized. And all of that stuff was beautifully integrated. What I remember from the anime, it really matched up sort of in the visual style really well. And I thought that was just wonderfully done. It was so wonderfully done that it's a shame to me that this movie isn't great. And here, for me, is where it falls down a bit, because you have these beautiful visuals, and the story that we're telling is about this woman, we'll say woman, I guess, because it's a human brain inside of a robotic body, the Ghost in the Shell from the title. And she is brought back to life, essentially, after what we assume is some very traumatic incident. We see her at the beginning getting Westworlded. The opening credits to this will very much remind you of Westworld in several bits and pieces if you've seen the opening credits to the TV show Westworld. She's put together from parts, a brain is inserted into her robot body, and she gets pulled into this military commando unit that works for the company that made her. And here is maybe one of the early problems with the story not going after the things that it could go after, because there's this great question about why does a private company have its own commando unit that apparently just gets to go in and do stuff, because I don't know, CEOs have a lot more power in this world. Never explained or explored. It's something that I assume gets talked about more in the anime, especially in the long form anime, but here it's just sort of, yep, company brought them back. They've got their own military unit, does stuff, protects them or whatever. Moving on. And it's never questioned. There's mention of somebody like a prime minister. There is a government in this world that is not this company, but we never see that. There's no police at any point, helping these people or telling them, hey, you can't do that because you're just people who work for a company and not the government. So missed opportunity there to just make a commentary, right? And that is emblematic of the larger problems that I have with this movie, is that it doesn't say much of anything. And the thing is, it's about a lot of cool stuff. It's about the idea of asking, what is humanity? When you strip away the skin and the bones and the flesh and you just have a mind left, where does the humanity lie? If you strip away the memories, how much humanity is in that? What is the soul? What is the core of identity left over when you strip away all of the outer trappings and have nothing left but the ghost? That's what it's about. but it doesn't actually have anything to say about that. It doesn't have anything to say about being human, right? A movie that is exploring what it means to be human never delves into what it means to be human, because humanity, from my perspective, is this wonderful, terrible, incredible experience that's, about being afraid of things and loving things. It's about, being in love. It's about having kids and loving them and being afraid that you're going to fail them, and all of these incredibly intricate experiences that make up what a human is. Okay, what it means to be alive and be human and have an impact in the world. And Ghost in the Shell doesn't have that. In all of its, what if humans were less human? What if they were machines? It doesn't ever explore. Everybody in this movie acts like a robot. Okay, everybody. The people who are completely human, the people who have cybernetic implants. I mean, I'm not saying there's never moments of humor or flashes of humanity, but it's sort of so focused in on, we have to find out who Scarlett Johansson is. We have to follow the plot to get to the person to find the guy, that it totally loses track of some amazing possibilities. And that's where this movie fails to go from good-ish to really great. Okay, and watching this, I kept thinking about Philip K. Dick, all right? He has done a lot of stories on this theme, okay? A lot. But the biggest one that he's done is a story called The Electric Ant. And The Electric Ant is a story about a man who finds out that he has this reality interpreting / creating device inside of him, that he is in fact a robot who is seeing the world as it's created through this little computer, and starts messing with the computer and seeing the world around him change. And this hints at that kind of thing, but it never, again, doesn't do anything with it. It just sort of says, yeah, reality could just change because she gets a glitch. That's weird. Oh well. Fight scene now. It's disappointing too, because we've seen other properties do great things with this idea, even other movies. I mean, The Matrix got a lot of flack for ripping off Ghost in the Shell back when it came out. And I think more than just because of the slow motion and, stylistic stuff, I think that they were exploring, again, these ideas of what is reality? What does it mean to be human? What if your perception of reality is changeable? And they went so far with that, and then to be here, I don't know how many years later, a while since The Matrix has become a major part of the cultural consciousness, now to be like, well, yeah, but really, what's a real identity? Let's go find out about that. It's the least interesting question that you could ask, and it's the thing that the movie focuses on the most. It's less Philip K. Dick and more Jason Bourne. And there's nothing wrong with Jason Bourne. Just, again, if you're just looking for sort of a fun action movie type premise, that's great. But then just watch Jason Bourne. And I'm not even saying that you can't do the, yes, you can do that in a different setting, and that's fine. But you have so much potential here with this concept to do more with it, to explore more of, again, what it means to be human. What does it mean when your perception of reality changes? All of this stuff, and it just sort of goes for this searching for identity thing, which, as I've mentioned, is fine, but not anywhere close to what the full potential of this film could have been. Yeah, I don't dislike this film. I don't hate this film. I wasn't disappointed going okay, maybe I was a little bit disappointed because I wanted something more, but it wasn't like last week with Life. I was just I sat there and just tried to figure out, how did they botch this so bad? And this one I can figure out. I can see where they just told a normal story, and that's okay. But there was, in my mind, a cooler story to tell. I wanted that, and I didn't get it. If you're a fan of the visuals, I definitely, you're going to want to check this out. If you go to the movies to see pretty things, pretty colors, cool effects, all of that stuff. This movie has them in spades. It's a movie that looks expensive. Okay, you can see like dollar signs just falling off the screen. Practically any shot in the movie. It's beautiful in so many different ways. But as a movie that is about the essence of humanity, it somehow fails to say anything about what it means to be human. It doesn't double down on the value of friendship or or love or anything like that. It's just this quest for the end, for the answer. And there's much more that this could be. But it wasn't. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Ghost in the Shell. Thanks everybody so much for watching. If you like this video, click the like button. If you've seen the movie, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. If you're a fan of the anime, I'd love to hear if there are some of these elements that are explored further that I did not know about. Again, only seen Standalone Complex and forgot a lot of it. So I'd really love to know what you guys' perspective is. And I'll see you guys next week with another episode of the Human Echoes Rundown.